So the plot thickens right here. Let's pull this up right quick. Jane Slater states there's one thing to watch following the Jerry Jones and his initial discussions with Deion Sanders. Two people with knowledge of the situation tells her Sanders approached Colorado's AD Rick George Tuesday about the initial audition money for the NIL and his staff. He was met with resistance. Oh, Lord. You mean to tell me that my guy Primetime was met with resistance? Okay, meaning that, hey, no, not that button, but what is that? So he was met with resistance. The University of Colorado would neither confirm nor deny the information. When I reached out, Deion Sanders didn't respond when reached multiple times for that particular comment. Now, with all of that being said, this could be a good thing or a bad thing, but the plot thickens, baby. So it states that basically Dion is more than likely not going to get the funds which is needed. You see, you're missing two star-studded players. Travis Hunter, he's gone. Him and his Swedes or fiance, she's gone, he's gone, right? So that levels of attention is no longer there. The dynamic of primetime coaching, not just one of his kids, but two of his kids, Shiloh as well as Shador, they're going to be gone. So the attention, the revenue from that will be gone from the university. Now, here's what I got to say 1,000,000%. Deion Sanders don't like his kids. He absolutely love his kids, and he would go to the stars and back for them. And the main thing is the money. It is the money, and don't get it twisted by everything else, because we've been talking about this for a long time, not a short time now. And let's listen to my guy who also, Ed Warner, pretty much said, hey, Dion will be the next coach, basically, if the position is offered. Now, I'm asking you guys right now, would you prefer to have Kellen Moore than Jason Witten and all of those boys? Or would you prefer to have Deion Primetime Sanders and Jason Witten and all of those boys? Let me know. Come on.
And extending that coverage through the dismissal of Mike McCarthy, which I think surprised a lot of people, even those of us who cover the team on a regular basis.
Right.
And, when you start configuring a list of potential candidates to be the next head coach, only in Dallas do you have to make sure to include Deion Sanders and Jason Witten,
right?
Former, Cowboys tight end great who Jerry is enamored with, who has only coached at the high school level. Regarding Dion, obviously we know that he has not yet formally interviewed for the job. The Cowboys have extended invitations to Leslie Frazier and Robert Saleh to be the first two to interview formally for the job. But Dion told Adam Schefter the other day that Jerry Jones reached out to him.
Right.
And they discussed the job. And everything I continue to be told, Dan, is that Jerry is interested. It was described to me as he's enamored with the idea.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to imagine any coaching candidate who could create more interest, someone that Jerry could more sell to the fan base here, which needs to happen.
Facts.
And make Jerry more money than Deion Sanders. I mean, he won a Super Bowl here as a player. Yeah. So there are also people around Dion who tell me that he's being urged by his supporters in Colorado to take the job, and that they believe if Jerry ever does offer him the job, that he will take it. Right. That he has an extension to remain at Colorado on his desk that he hasn't even looked at.
Right.
As he considers these other possibilities. But, there are also people close to Dion who tell me they don't see it happening, but they've seen things happen with Jerry Jones that they didn't expect to happen before.
Right.
And he did hire Barry Switzer, so you can't rule anything out. He's the most unpredictable owner in the NFL on any subject, especially this one.
No doubt. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, based off of the new updated information, I will be thinking about hiring Deion Sanders myself. Look, come on, you can't sell me Robert as Salah as the head coach here. Not with a 20-36 record. I get it. He was bamboozled and hoodwinked with all of the stuff at the Jets land. But at the end of the day, man, you had early draft picks there, and you had stout defenses there, and you have nothing to show for it but 20-36. But I get all of that. And you really can't sign the idea to all of you guys or sell the idea to all of you guys about Brian Johnson. Not Ben Johnson, but Brian Johnson and Anthony Land. No. And Leslie Frazier, come on, guys. Come on, man. Every time I pull up the picture, y'all saying, hey, man, don't say his name 3 times. He looked like he could be Candyman over here. And no shade at the brother. But it seems as if, though, the Dallas Cowboys are in a situation of trying to seek who the coach going to be, and it could be prime time for your mind. Is everybody got some type of talking points on this? You got to have someone to build that can challenge Jerry. So this would be my guy for real, prime. Yeah.
Head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Marcus Spears. What do you think of that possibility?
I like the possibility, Rich. I've come around. Yeah. Last year, if you would have asked me this, I would have said, nah, need to see more. Now we have a 2-year sample size of building culture at Colorado.
Right.
We have 2 players from Colorado are going to go in the top 10 of the NFL draft. That's a byproduct of Dion. I said this on Monday Night Countdown last week, Rich. You got to have somebody in the building that can challenge Jerry from a stature standpoint.
Right.
We all know the stories. You've been covering this game long enough to know that Jerry wants to have his hand in everything. If Jerry was to hire Dion, and make no mistake about it, that Jerry would still be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think Dion would have enough cachet to say, hey, let me handle this, Jerry.
Yeah.
Let me take care.
Let me take care of this. Okay.
This is what we need to do.
Deion Sanders is head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Marcus Spears, what do you think of that possibility?
And I'll tell you this, Rich. If Prime can't do it, it's a lost cause forever, brother, until God called Jerry home.
Oh, so, Lord.
I think he would be a team builder. I think he would be a culture builder. But more importantly, in that front office, I think he could sit at that table and say, yo, this is what I need in order to make this team better, and I need you to get this done, as opposed to being a subordinate. And sometimes it's super uncomfortable for me to use that word because these other coaches have a healthy level of respect. Mike McCarthy is a well-respected coach in these circles. But I said it when he was hired, Rich. They asked me how you feel about it. I said, well, I mean, if it's going to be the same old as what Jerry has done, Mike McCarthy will have some success, but nothing will be won and nothing will be different. And at the end, it'll probably be some non-committal situation. And I'll tell you this, Rich.
And he's speaking the truth, ladies and gentlemen, on all of this, because at the end of the day, these are the words that was said from the man that got 3 Super Bowls, that don't like this team but love this team and want to see this team be successful. And his name is Troy. Let Troy get it.
See it tonight. You have to have both, but just bringing in someone, no matter how qualified that coach might be, and I'll reiterate, I think Mike McCarthy is an outstanding football coach. He's proven that in this league. The number of times he's won 10 games or more as a head coach, but you have to empower that head coach.
Yeah.
And I think that's been what has been missing in Dallas since Jimmy Johnson walked out the door.
And there's no room for debate on that one. You can argue a little bit about Parcells, but to be real with everything, man, this is a situation that this is a no-brainer. And I'm not campaigning only for Prime to be the first brother head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but this is the one guy that at least he got the cachet to walk into the room of Jerry and say, hey, this is how you can get it done. And I know it'll be a tug of war between Jerry and Steven on this, but this would probably be the best move. Outside of a Ben Johnson, maybe, just maybe, a Joe Brady, and these sorts of things. But if it's a choice between Prime and revisiting Kellen Moore, come on, y'all. Come on. Post me your thoughts. Post me your concerns down below. List me the coach that you would like to see with the silver and blue. And keep in mind, we got to get this coaching staff together. We got to hire running back coach, tight end coach. We got so many things to hire over here. And then we got a whole defensive personnel to hire, find defensive coordinators. And then once we do that, then we got to fool around and find out who we going to sign back to this team from the free agency. So we got to do self-inventory. On top of that, we got to comb through all of the 31 other teams to see who's on their free agent list, right? And then try to pick apart those guys. And then from there, we go into the draft evaluations and analysis. What will be the temperament of your team? How would you like to have the infrastructure of your team, the philosophy, the principles, and all of that? So that's why you can't rush it, but we need to rush it, right? Because we are behind the 8 ball at this point. We are. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get this all done. And I don't have time or the time to try to get this done with a Kellen Moore who never been into those rooms before. Now, granted, we can talk about Prime, lack of experiences, but we know for sure with tangible evidence that this man is a gold jacket, a Hall of Famer, all of those good things. Kellen Moore is not. So the longitudes and latitudes of being able to reach out to certain people, places, and things will be prime time for your mind. So, Jerry, get this thing done so that we can go into this draft with a clean and clear philosophy and principle. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below as we rock on up out of here, Cowboy Nation. DC for life. Oh, I got the wrong one. Oh, play my real theme music. Come on with it. Yeah. Come on. Let's get it. DC for life, not for short. Let's get it. Peace.